Right. Hello, Videoland. I do apologise. I've been a bit slack recently. Probably shouldn't say slack. I've just been pretty busy, so it's good to be able to continue my series of videos and give you information that I hope you can use. Now, while I'm wearing this, it is absolutely freezing in Wellington. We are experiencing a southerly, so for UK people, that is wind coming from the Antarctica, which is kind of minus temperatures, and it just cuts through you, and it's not enjoyable to be anywhere near. And I've also got a heat pump on. I don't know if you can hear it, and that's just to keep me warm because when I'm cold, I'm not happy. So yeah, it's expect me to probably do the next couple of months of videos wearing this. So first video, I kind of give you a brief introduction about what I'm about. The second video was my story. This third one is about the area I look at, and lo and behold, it's stress. So anyone who follows me in social media or any of my clients will know I'm obsessed with this topic, and there's a reason for it. For me, I think it's the missing link from people being healthy to ill health, and I think it is that missing link that we just don't we're not paying much attention to. We tend to look at problems once they've occurred. I like to look at them before they've even started, so kind of a preventable medicine. And how I look at stress is I would get a client in, for example, and I would have a chat with them. I would get to know their story, and I like to kind of say I'm a health detective, you could say, where I'm looking at what opportunities I have to help coach somebody away from some things or alter changes to see if they can get better energy and feel better and make the most of their lives. And a couple of the questionnaires that I tend to send out straight away, so I have a broader idea of what you're about. Are one of them is the stress causes, and the areas I look at there are mental emotional stress. The second one is lifestyle. The third one is environmental or toxic pollution, and the last one is metabolism. Now, mental emotional tends to be the area that we tend to have the biggest problem with, and that's addressing our emotions and a lot of thoughts that we have in our head and our mindset. And it is a hard one to try and fix, but it's one that I believe once you've kind of mastered, but not mastered, but build awareness to and techniques that you can use when things are getting a little bit too much, you will benefit from this so much. I know from my own experience when I was going to see a psychologist. First, actually, every session that I went to see this lady, I used to get drenched in sweat. I used to look like I had just ran a marathon or just done some pretty intense training. And I always I used to say, "Is this normal?" to her by the end of the session, and she would say, it's more common than you think, and it's your body's releasing a lot of tension it's had in it for a number of years, and these are little stresses that you've forgotten about, but it has an effect on the body every time there's something that goes on. And if you don't address the problem, it just continues to build. So mental emotional is the first one. The second one, which is lifestyle. Now this is the one where we tend to look at more than anything else because it's easier to control. But in saying that, it is difficult because it's habits, it's daily habits that you do, and it's your routine that you follow every day. So this is the times that you go to bed, the amount of water you drink, the amount you move on a daily basis. What else? The people, the how much TV you watch. It's all these factors that you have as I said, the ability to switch, and by switching that, energy will start to increase if it is something that needs to be changed. So after lifestyle, is the environment and toxic pollution, and we tend to think of outside. I know when it comes to pollution, but I look at the pollution inside the house. So things like your toothpaste, the soap that you use to clean yourself with, shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers. A lot of that stuff now is filled with synthetic man-made materials, which our body isn't designed to use and to digest, essentially, because every time you put stuff on your skin, it's absorbed into the bloodstream. So they're going to be, if you're using stuff that, one, you can't pronounce, too with numbers that just numbers and weird letters beside it. That just shows it's not designed for the body to get used, but we use it now because that's how products are made. Um, metabolism is your gut health, and that's where how well you're able to get energy from the food that you're eating. Now, you'll all hear the fitness experts, and there used to be a program called "You Are What You Eat." I can't stand that saying. I think it's complete bollocks. I've got to be honest. It's not what you eat. You are what you digest. Now, how I know that, and it's because of my own experience. I went on a rampage of trying to be the healthiest person ever. I was only eating organic food. I even went to being a vegan at one point. And what I found was half the foods that I was eating after I got a food sensitivity test, I was sensitive to. So my body was actually shutting down, and my stomach wasn't working the way it should do. And essentially, I was just putting my hard earned money down the toilet, so to speak. And it was it was quite a revelation to see that for me at the time I was sensitive to pretty much the majority of vegetables that you would get from any nutritionist or any food specialist or whoever they say to encourage to eat. But my body was having a hard time digesting them, showing that it's that one that that one plan doesn't work for everybody. Everyone's different, and how we react to stress is different as well. So yeah, so from there, what we would do is we would look at what we could do to get you on the course of trying to improve your health and then improve your well-being. And it would be looking at one markers that we could slowly start to take away from the body. And the reason for that is this is where we look at the stress response, and our stress response is just basically helps our body to react to the stress that we have. Now, thousands of years ago, when we lived in the wilderness, we needed that response in order to survive. That was our survival mechanism, and because of that, we are still here today. The problem is we've evolved a lot since thousands of years ago, but our body's stress response hasn't changed, and it's like a switch. It's on and off. There's no in between. So instead of having predators or animals chasing us or fighting to keep ourselves alive, we have now things like coffee or overtraining or not going to bed at the right time as stresses or arguments with people. And back thousands of years ago, we would have some stress, and then we would have time to recover, and then it would be another stress. And stress, and I need to say this as well, it actually has a positive effect on the body. So when you're going to the gym and you're lifting weights and getting stronger, that is a sign of positive stress. That's known as eustress, and we actually want that. That shows that we're adapting to our circumstances and we're getting the benefit from it. The problem is once it goes from being a kind of an acute bout to a prolonged state, that's when the body doesn't like it, and the body will start realizing it can't keep up with the demands of the lifestyle. Once that starts to happen, the body's ability to function adequately will start to change, and you'll start noticing one or two little things like waking up and feeling a bit tired, having sugar, or not being able to get through your day without having coffee. And once that's, or even getting to bed, feeling tired all day, and then when you get to bed, you're wide awake because you think you're a night owl. And once that starts to happen, that's your body trying to tell you that something's not right. And as I say, symptoms are not normal. And if left untreated, that's where the problems start really happening, and that's when your health starts to really start to just fall down. And yeah, it's what happened to me, and it's happening to millions of people, and it's happened to a lot of my clients as well. So kind of that's all I want to talk about today. Keep it quite short. It's just a kind of brief intro about what stress is and how it affects the body and why I look at that. Now, if there's anything you feel like I've missed out or anything you want to ask me about, put it in the comment section below, or I'll leave my email on the synopsis as well, so you can quickly drop me an email. And if there's a question that I don't know the answer to, I will find the answer. And yeah, just if there's anything in your life that you can start to take out or you be aware of and build awareness around this, to try and decrease the amount of stress in our life, I guarantee it will benefit you in a positive way. So see what you can do, and see the changes, and see how your energy is, because your energy is your true currency of health. So I'll just leave it there. So if people of Wellington, stay wrapped up. In the UK, enjoy your summer, and yeah, I'll be up in a couple of weeks to do another video, and have an awesome week.